nutrition in a layman's language is the amount of nutrients provided in feed, provided in what the animal consumes. Alright, so that's what nutrition is. Now when we talk about poultry nutrition, we're looking at the nutrients that will provide in what your birds will eat. And this has a lot to do with feed production for birds, because whatever we're going to be producing is what these birds will be depending on for their growth. One thing about poultry birds is that whatever you feed them, they tend to utilize the same amount of nutrients to produce meat or egg. So if they are poorly fed, if the nutrients they are getting is not enough from the feed, it will show in their production of egg and in the production of their meat. This is why we take it very importantly when we're producing feed, by providing all the nutrients these birds need at the adequate amount. Because if we don't do so, it will reflect in their growth and production of egg, as I said earlier. Poultry birds has one of the highest conversion ratio. What that means is whatever you give your birds, they have the tendency of converting it into meat quickest than many livestock, right? You can say that your birds are a product of what you feed them. An example of this is your local chicken. Now, one of the reasons why your local chicken is not as big as your layers or your broilers is because of what we feed them. We feed them with anything. We allow them to go source for food by themselves, and they grow anyhow, right? Now note that your local chicken genetically is not designed to have a lot of flesh and produce too many eggs. But apart from that natural factor, the other reason why your poultry, your local chicken don't grow very big is because of what we feed them. When you feed your broiler birds, you feed them well, but when you feed the local birds, it's a different case. So the production level of the two will definitely be different, right? This is the same for birds that are provided with adequate nutrients, even among the agric birds that your production, your commercial birds. It's the same thing that happens when you give them the right nutrients and you do not give them the right nutrient they require. If you place two birds of the same breed in different pens and you feed this one with a feed that is qualitative, that has all the nutrients it needs, and you place the other birds with a feed that doesn't have all the nutrients it needs, you will see this manifest in their growth rate. You will see it manifest in their production rate. So that is why we must take animal nutrition very importantly. We must take animal nutrition in note when producing feed for your poultry birds. There are 4 nutrients your birds needs primarily. These 4 nutrients, if provided in the right amount, will set your birds on the right course of production. Number 1 is carbohydrates, number 2 is protein, number 3 is minerals, and finally you have your vitamins. Protein is one of the most important nutrients in feed production. This is because we keep our birds for 2 reasons: for meat production and for egg production. And poultry and protein is responsible for egg formation and production of meat in your poultry beds. So this means if we are keeping our birds for meat and egg, and protein is responsible for the production of these 2, then it means it's the most important nutrients we have when providing nutrients in the feed of the birds. So your carbohydrates is very important as well, because it provides your birds with the energy they need in their daily activities. Now they will need to walk around, they will need to feed, they will need to drink water, they will need to play around and interact with themselves. All these daily activities can only be made possible with the presence of carbohydrates. It gives them energy for their daily activities. Vitamins helps in their bodily metabolisms and hormonal balances. Now, vitamins are so important in the nutrition of birds because many of the internal processes that goes inside of them is powered by vitamins. For example, the deficiency of a vitamin can lead to your birds to not have appetite for feeding. Now, minerals are trace nutrients that carry out very simple but important processes in the body. An example of your minerals is what we call calcium. Now, calcium is responsible for formation of bone and formation of eggshell. The absence of calcium in your feed will mean that your birds will not be able to stand. Some of you must have experienced that in your poultry production. And also, the eggs that your birds will produce will not be very strong. Some will not form very well because calcium is missing. There's phosphorus and a whole lot of them under the family of minerals. So they are trace nutrients, but they carry out simple but very important processes in the body of your birds. So these are the 4 nutrients that your birds cannot do without. So when you are producing your feed, you must provide them with protein, you must provide them with carbohydrate, you must provide them with minerals, not just calcium. You provide them with minerals and with your vitamins.